Hello, I'm Jenny Fern, and welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. So let's talk about books. So I have a goal this year to do one extra video every month that is focused on a creative project. Specifically, I'm looking forward to exploring some of my own writing, and that's what we're doing today. Today, I'd like to explore flash fiction. And I had a different thing planned, but this is really where my heart is being called. So I'm gonna work on this instead. What I thought to do, and I'm so excited about, is to look through some of my art books, get inspired by 3 pieces, and write 3 pieces of flash fiction. And have I ever intentionally written flash fiction before? Not really. I've done writing prompts where I end up with a piece of flash fiction. Then I'm thinking I can even try, if I get something that's like decent, to submit to literary journals and such. I'm gonna show you the pieces that I picked out. So the first book that I have here is A River Flowing Home, A Creative Journey by Susan Hall. You may have seen that we have some Susan Hall pieces in our house. Her earlier work is quite different, and this is the piece that I am particularly inspired by right now. It's called Well, Well, and there are 2 wells side by side. For that, I would like to write about somebody who decides to dig a well in her backyard, knowing nothing about how to do that. The next book that I have is Sketchbook 6 by Felicia Chow. This is an artist that I found on Instagram. She's San Francisco based, and she does marker illustrations in her sketchbook, and this is a direct replica of her 6th sketchbook. And the piece that I am inspired by is this one here. And what I like to write about is somebody who has allergies. Basically, I want to write what the image is. Somebody who has allergies and starts using eye drops, and then over time she feels like she is transforming into flowers. And then this one here, I've actually just finished reading My Year of Meats by Ruth Ozeki. I finished it like 7 minutes ago, like literally just finished reading it. And I saw this piece here. I think I'd like to write about aliens observing cattle. I'd like to write from an alien's perspective, doing a scan of a cow. This is The Art of Moon Patrol. Is a collage artist that I followed and still follow on Instagram. He, I think, is also based in the San Francisco Bay Area. This book was published from Australia, however. Those are the 3 art books that I have. Those are the 3 art pieces that I have. Now I've got to get into the writing. I finished the first piece. I got to basically a point where I was like, I've written the last line. And it is only 515 words. It is the one about the well. I actually love the last line. Like, I love how it ends. I would like to read the last line for you. They would stop the calluses, they would tuck me into bed, and the feeling of inhumanity would still be there as I drove south each morning. It is about trying to feel human and loneliness as well, I suppose. I also have to start eating lunch now because it is now 1:30. I have a terrible habit of not feeding myself. If I'm doing something, I just don't eat. So I just finished the second flash fiction piece as well. And I'd like to read a quote. Air blew at her as the automatic door opened and the smells of carpet glue and lotion pummeled her nose. It had to be the spine, how she parted the air with the top of her head now, and the air wrapped around and eddied at her shoulders. This is why she smelled everything and her eyes hurt. She just knew it. I did not end up writing a story about a person who becomes flowers with eye drops, but it is about an elderly woman who goes to the drugstore to get eye drops. I actually like really, really enjoy what I uncovered with this piece about this woman. I'm really happy with what happened. I don't know if I'm happy with the piece all over, but I really enjoyed the process of writing this and like the story that was uncovered through this piece. And this one is 674 words. Then the last one I have is about the aliens and the cow. My hair is very large right now. So I've now finished the third and final flash fiction piece. This is very heavily inspired by My Year of Meats by Ruth Ozeki, because there is a story told by a man who's driving one of the main characters to her next destination, and he had been interested in studying farming, but he basically ended up getting very jaded by the whole thing because of how warped the industry is. And he had an assignment where he wrote about an alien who is confused about like the earth, and he thinks that cows are controlling the humans, like cows have like these bipedal servants who help them enact their geometric patterns on the landscape. And I really like that idea, especially the like description of the geometric patterns with like this grid of fields. I didn't want to do exactly that because that's not my idea, but I did have it about an alien who accidentally picks up and analyzes a cow instead of a human for like his senior project. And obviously he's failed. He's talking about it in a very like, well, I don't give a shit kind of attitude. He says like, okay, I'll admit, I could have done my research a little better, but I was phoning it in. Is that what you want to hear? I didn't have that much time to study because I was busy trying to become myself. It was my last year of college and I barely knew who I was. So he's having like this crisis. Those are the three pieces of flash fiction that I wrote. I think now I'm going to edit them a little bit, and then I think I'm going to go crazy and try to submit. I think the middle one that I wrote about this old woman is like, it's really, really weird. Really weird, but to me it's very compelling. So that's the one that I'm most drawn to. Anyway, I think I'm just going to go cruise around on Submittable and see if I can find anything where it would make sense for me to submit to. The sun has just about set. I have submitted the second piece of flash fiction that I'd written today called The Ocean in a Vial, and I'm feeling a little bit unconfident about that name. I submitted it to 4 literary journals using Submittable. I did all no-fee literary journals. Now I have to do my laundry because I have been focusing on this project pretty much all day. I gotta clean my clothes because I'm a human who has to go to work tomorrow. I can give some updates until the end of the month of rejections and stuff as they come in. Hello, I'm coming in on January 25th to give an update that I have not heard anything back from any of the submissions, and I haven't submitted any more. I haven't done anything more on that front. It is in progress with 2 of the literary journals, and it is still in received status for the other 2. So thank you so much for joining me today. I am again so glad that I decided to make this goal for myself to work on my own creative projects, especially focusing on my writing and being able to have an excuse and document that experience and share that with you all. So thank you for being here with me. Let me know if you have any questions about like this process. If you have questions about Submittable, maybe trying to find literary journals, that kind of thing. And maybe I can do a whole video on that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider sharing it with a friend who you think would also enjoy it. Consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back again soon. Next month for this creative side of the channel, and soon for book-related content.